There's destiny here on this magical Monday. And today I want to talk about doubting your leadership and yourself and how all of that can get created simply by doubting our decisions. Okay. So somehow along the way, we have learned to assign meaning to our decisions. And what I mean by that is when you have a conversation with your friend or even with yourself, do you ever say like, "Ooh, that was a bad decision," or "Oh, that was a good decision," or "Ooh, maybe next time I'll make a better decision." So what we've done with the good, the bad, the better, right? The guilty, the not guilty, all of those words are adding meaning to decisions that we have made. But what if that's all bullshit? What if all of that actually is what's hindering us from making the decision that we need to make? And a decision is just a decision. No good, bad, right, wrong, guilty, not guilty, failed, successful. What if all of that is complete and utter bullshit? And all we need to do is make a decision. But we don't make it because we start to prejudge the decisions we're making, which then causes us to doubt ourselves based on what we decided to do in the past. Now, it's really easy to do this, right? We learned how to do this when we were very young, right? We are it is part of the vocabulary that we hear over and over again, and then we start to apply it to the things that we do in our life. But what if all of that is just a bunch of really stupid head trash, and all we need to do is make a decision? And it doesn't matter because there's no such thing as a good decision or a bad decision, a right decision or a wrong decision. It's just a decision. What freedom could that bring you to just make a just choose something, right? One of my brilliant friends, Susan Richards, if you ever meet this woman, give her a hug because what she said to me absolutely rocked and changed my world, and I'm going to pass it on to you, and I hope it changes yours too. What if it's just a decision, and if it doesn't work, you just make another decision? So whatever you choose is the right one, and it's the right one for in that moment. And then if it's not working out, cool, course correct, make a different decision. Not assigning good, bad, right, wrong, blame, shame, or any of that. Just make a different decision. Rocked my world. So I'd love to hear from you. Tell me what decision you've been putting off and what it would look like for you to just choose. Just choose and pick something. No good, no bad, no right, no wrong, none of that. Just a straight up, here's what I'm going to do. You don't even need to support it with like a why. It's just, this is what I'm going to do. See what happens, right? Back in school, I don't know if you remember the scientific method, right? Where you tested, you had your hypothesis, and then you had your was it a theory, your hypothesis, then you collected data, right? So this is just all about collecting data. That's it. Nothing else. We're not taking any of it personally. There is no attack coming. There's none of that. It's just collecting data. Let's see what happens when I choose A. Okay, now let's see what happens when I choose B. Collect data. How much freer do you feel with that? So what decision have you been putting off? And what could it look like for you to just pick? Just pick. Not, oh, I don't know if this is going to be right for me. I don't know if this is going to be wrong for me. Oh, I don't know. None of that. Just pick and see what happens. Now, the caveat to this is you've got to pay attention and you've got to be willing to see the data, right? So if you choose A and all of a sudden it gets really hard and things are like not quite working out and you feel yourself pushing and shoving and forcing, that's data that maybe A is not the decision to make. And then when you choose something else and it seems really easy, you're like, oh, this is happening really quickly. Or in your mind, you're like, well, that was easy, right? That's a great opportunity to be like, decision B worked out. But here's another little clincher to this. Some of us don't like things to be easy, right? Some of us think we have to work hard for things. So if it's not hard, we're going to make it hard. Okay. So you've got to be really aware of how you are when you're making a decision. So if you're looking for the hard, then it's going to get hard. And that might still be wrong. So you've got to just be aware, like, hang on, wait a minute. Is this really what feels good? You got to tune in to what feels good for you. Because yes, it's supposed to be easy. We make shit really hard. And then that leads us to doubting our decisions again, right? So just pay attention. Make a decision, A or B, boom. Not good, bad, right, wrong, none of that, just A or B, and collect the data. It's okay for it to come easy to you. It's okay for you to just flow with and for you to be like, oh, that wasn't difficult at all. That's the way it's supposed to be. Okay. Now, if you start hitting up against all of these things, you got to check in. Are you making it hard? Are you purposefully doing that? Are you choosing that hard? Because you're looking for it to be hard because you got to work hard or whatever that bullshit story is in your brain. Okay? Are you making it hard on purpose? If you are, pause. Can you make a different decision? Okay? Take that breath, that mindfulness, that hang on, pause for a moment. Okay? But just look at that. Look at what you're doing with the decisions that you're making and how can you make them easy for you? How can you allow that flow in your life? How can you allow and guys and gals, we can all do this, okay? We can allow that flow into our life to make it simple, to make it easy, to make it just like, flow for us. Okay? So getting there, it's totally possible. First step, just choose something. Just make a decision. Again, drop the good, bad, right, wrong, blah blah. With all of that, that's assigning a meaning that we don't know if we should assign yet because we don't have the data, right? So just make a decision, collect the data, and then let's move forward. You can do this. It is so much fun to play in this arena, and I'd love for you to join me in this. Okay? So I'd love to hear from you. What decision have you been putting off, and what decision are you making? That's it. That's as simple as we can cut it down nice and dry, right? Just A or B, A or B. All right. You got this and you can do this. All right. Until next week, peace.